I changed my mind on my big WoW list. And I would like to share with you why and get your opinion and your feedback on how we're going to play how we're going to play Big WoW after the last update that we got. But first, thank you to my Kill Boss patron supporters. Thank you to Iberian for the art for the channel. And thank you, Baron of Dice, for being a sponsor of the channel. If you're going to buy dice, you might as well buy it from Baron of Dice and use code MDG or use the link in the description below. Help support the channel. Appreciate it. So here is what my big WoW list is looking like right now. Or I guess before I changed it. I played a very similar list to this last night. It was good. I liked it. But it reinforced what I was already starting to think. So Big WoW inspired. It's 12 drops and exactly 2,000 points. We have a combination. We have 4 battalions: Acolytes, Wizard Finders, Warlord, and an Iron Jaws Fist. So the key here is that the general is a Weird Knob Shaman with Master of Magic and Hand of Gork. We're also taking a Mega Boss on foot with Destroyer, a Wargog Prophet with Hoarfrost and Glowing Tattoos, a Get 'em Beat, a War Chanter, a Fix and Beat War Chanter, Gobsprak, 2x10 Ardboys, 1x10 Brutes, 3 Gore Gruntas, 1 Grunta Gouger, and a unit of Rippa's Snarlfangs. The idea is that Rippa's Snarlfangs are on one side, zoning out and flanking. Toddler aggro. Oh, she's gone. On the other side is Rippa Snarlfangs doing the same thing. In the front we have our Ardboys, and then in our castle we have our Gore Gruntas and our Brutes, which are ready to be teleported or be deployed out of the battlefield to counter the particular threats that they are particularly skilled at dealing with. And then we have the Wargog Prophet and the Mega Boss and all that kind of stuff kind of sitting in the castle ready to do whatever it is that they're going to do. But the crux of this list is that we are taking a Iron Jaws General. We are taking an Iron Jaws General. That means that the 2 battle tactics that we have access to are That's Our Turf now, and Crumple Maul? No, I can't remember what it's called. Smash the Puny Gits, Kill the Puny Gits, where you have to kill all of the enemy's battle line, which turns out to be a lot more difficult than you would think. So what I've done with my list is I've removed a War Chanter and added a Gnash Tooth. That gave me 10 points, and so I used that to change Rippa Snarlfang into a unit of Snarlfang Riders instead. So what did I lose? Well, I lost a second Violet Fury, and I lost Get 'em Beat. I tend not to use Get 'em Beat very often, and I'm still kind of debating if I want Fix and Beat or Get 'em Beat. Fix and Beat is really good with the Wargog Prophet, so like being able to Fix and Beat on a 3-up and then being able to Heroic Recovery, so like healing him 2d3 in a turn after he's used his mask is just setting him up to be able to do more of that again, and I value that quite highly. It's really good, especially when you can, after you have enough WoW points and you don't want to use here we go anymore, being able to heal him each turn, right? Being able to heal him 3d3 in a round can often be enough to heal him up full, which is absolutely fantastic. So we're losing a war chanter, so we're losing Violent Fury is what we are really losing. But what we're gaining is we're gaining Super Sneaky, we're gaining Fasten, we're gaining Sneak Up battle tactic, and we're getting Crump 'em All. No, we're getting Take Dat, ya suckers. So we're getting what is arguably the 2 easiest battle tactics that we have access to. I can't think of a battle tactic that we can do right now in Big WoW that is easier than Sneak Up. Like, seriously, let me know what you think. Do you think Sneak Up is the easiest battle tactic that we can do? And Take Dat, ya suckers is actually a fairly easy battle tactic to get. You can do a trick with the Wargog Prophet where if you use your Death Mask and you deal 10 mortal wounds, you can end your turn and get your tactic. You can deal 10 mortal wounds or 11 or whatever, and then after that pick Take Dat, you suckers, and then you already did it. You just have to make sure you don't take 10 wounds. So it's a pretty easy tactic to get, in my opinion. I think that those 2 tactics, being Super Sneaky and Take Dat, you suckers, are easier than That's Our Turf now, and Squish to Puny Gits, the 2 Iron Jaws one. And that's significant. That's significant. So I think that this change is certainly going to help in my list. And the Gnash Tooth is no pushover. Super Sneaky is a good command trait, especially because in this list, the only thing that you are really going to Super Sneaky is Gobsprack. You're just going to move them around. If your opponent is hoping to get Magical Dominance on turn 1, right? It's like, okay, cool. So Gobsprack's just going to get deployed up forward here. Or if your opponent makes a deployment mistake, right? Like Gobsprack can kind of go off onto the map and be within 30, depending on your opponent's army right off the bat. I have a feeling that there might not be a ton of uses for this, and it's going to be kind of niche, and I don't really know what else to use this for. Another thing that you could use Super Sneaky for is instead of taking Snarlfang Riders, you can remove 40 points from the list, and you can just run a unit of Hobgrots instead. And then at least you have this other sort of flanker that you can use. And Super Sneaking a unit of Hobgrots in Big Wad can be quite good. You're trying to stall. So yesterday I was playing a game against a player that was running 2 double reinforced Squig Herd, so it was 72 Squig Herd on the board. And being able to I didn't do this, but I wish I could have, but being able to Super Sneaky a line of 10 Hobgrots right up in front of both units of Squigs, just as a speed bump, would have been very nice. It would have been like, okay, here, boom, there's 80 points right in your face. So I'm kind of still debating if I want to throw in like a unit of Hobgrots or something, another Cruel Boys unit that I can Super Sneaky. It could also be a Killbow, right? Super Sneaking. If lots of people make you go first when you're super high drops, and so being able to like take a Killbow and put it exactly 24 inches within its target at an angle that's going to be helpful for you throughout the game can in itself be quite powerful. It just kind of scares your opponent and puts them off what they wanted to do off their game plan. It also puts them on like a potential timer. It's like, well, you know, if you're gonna let this Killbow sit here for 3 turns, he's gonna take 3 shots at you. Like, you know, like he's gonna probably put some damage into you. But so I'm not really sure about that. And then Fasten. Having an Gnash Tooth with Fasten is great. It means that he can move 20 inches in a turn and then charge. So I mean that's pretty good. And the Gnash Tooth for his point value hits okay. He's mid fighty, but like that's good. He's there to counterpunch anything that comes into range. He's also himself good at zoning out the backline because he's so fast. And then when he needs to, he can join the fight. If your grand strategy is also Wah, he can move 10 and then Fasten, so he can get into your opponent's territory. He's actually pretty okay at setting up Surround and Destroy, right? Because he's fast. There's a lot of reasons that this Gnash Tooth General is the way to go, I'm thinking, in Big Wah right now. Very good. Very good. So here are some things that I am confident of, things that I know for sure. So having a Cruel Boys General is worth it just for the battle tactics. It upgrades 2 of your tactics, and in this case, gives you access to a mount trait. I know that that's really strong. And we changed Rippa's Snarlfangs into Snarlfang Riders, and while Rippa's does indeed deal more damage, like by a fair amount, that isn't their role. They're not there to do damage. Their role is to move around the map, take objectives, zone out teleports and deep strikes, complete Surround and Destroy, and screen. And I think that Snarlfang Riders actually accomplish this task better, and they therefore fit into this role better. I was thinking about making a video titled like role is greater than unit, right? So it's when you design a list, you have to kind of think about what roles you want all the units to play, and then pick your units based on what roles you actually want to have. Because people will say things to me like, oh, like Ragers deal more damage than Rippa Snarlfang. And it's like, yes, they do, but they're not as fast. They don't take up as much space, right? They're only 3 40mm base models. So they actually don't screen out that well. So it's like, well, yes, they do deal more damage, but that's not what I want them for. I don't want them to deal damage. I want them to do these other tasks that they are better suited for. And then here are some questions that I still have about Big Wah. Should the Snarlfang Riders be either Hobgrots to be super sneakied or Stabbas for objective control? Because Stabbas do make a really good screen, and they do toe onto objectives quite well. With Snarlfang Riders, you're looking at 5 models for 120 points, and Stabbas have 20 models for 120 points. So I'm still kind of thinking about which one of those is going to be better. And should the Gouger just be another unit of Gruntas? Is having the monster actually better, or is having the extra damage better? If you have 2 units of Gore Gruntas, you can like Hoarfrost, Violent Fury, teleport the Mighty Destroyer, smash twice. But the Gouger does a different thing. He serves a different role. So I'm kind of still thinking about that. And should it be the War Chanter that gets cut for the Gnash Tooth? The other option would be the Mega Boss. So the question is the command efficiency that the Mega Boss gives to the army more important than Violent Fury? At this point, I think so, but we'll have to see. I do really like double Mighty Destroyers. I like double all-out defense. I like double auto run 6. There's a lot of things that I really appreciate about having a Mega Boss in a list, and when I don't have them, I feel like I'm missing out. Double all-out defense is really just chef's kiss. The only real super sneaky target that I have in the list is Gobsprakk. So, using him to deny magical dominance, is that enough value, or is it better if I took Egomaniac? Because I can pass off damage from the Gnash Tooth onto Ardboys, or I can pass it off to anybody, right? Or maybe not to anybody. I'd have to double check that. But Ardboys for sure. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and be sure to check out some other videos I'm releasing right now. Like, subscribe, watch.